Good decisions can't be taken by a board that's not having good meetings. Good decisions can't be made, direction can't be set, and in some cases, the overall viability of the organization may be affected by that.
I think governance is important today because we've seen a lot of crises or failures in the not-for-profit sector and business sector. And if we all know the processes and policies that we need to go through to get things done, there's no confusion. We all know our role, we know what we're responsible for, what we're trying to execute, and we're not wasting time. Also in the not-for-profit sector, you have a lot of turnover of staff and volunteers, so you want to make sure you've got it documented so it's clear on what we've decided, where we're going, so that as we transition people, they can continue to execute effectively. I would see governance as a good framework, and so you want to have a strong framework so that you can execute properly. I think there's lots of different governance models and everybody's got a different vision, and you have to really tailor your governance to the organization, where it wants to go, the size, the complexity, and maturity. But I think it is the framework that launch pads everything else in the organization.
When there's a change in the governance structure of an organization, if it's a material one, there could be a lot of ripple effect on the operations of the organization, and this can be a very difficult time for everybody, board, staff, members, whoever the interested parties are. So I think that the best way to maneuver through that kind of situation is to engage all the parties in the process. Having buy-in in the process chosen to make the changes required is important, and it'll make it a lot easier, once things have been put in place for everybody to adopt the new processes or the new direction without feeling that they've been excluded from the process. As a responsible board member, it's definitely important to make sure that you understand all facets of the organization. So as the treasurer, obviously I'm very well in tune with what's happening from a financial point of view, but if I don't understand the programs that are being run by an organization or the fundraising methodologies, it's hard for me to offer insight. So asking questions about areas outside of your own little job description is important, and asking for training, I think, at a board level on those other areas would be a great way to get what you need.
I've served as a chair of the board for one of the current charities I'm serving on. I've also served as treasurer of a board. It's given me an exposure to other issues and problems in our community and how to deal with those. You can teach individuals governance, you can teach them how to read a financial statement, but you cannot infuse in them the passion for the organization. If they have that inner passion, it's going to make them a tremendously effective board member.
The structure for not-for-profits is very much the same in that there's a governance oversight board, there's a finance and audit committee, and the structure is very much the same as a public company, except for there's a lot of volunteers who are performing and producing things that are for the not-for-profit and are very passionate and not getting paid for it.
The board has ultimate control over its governance structure. And when there are changes to governance, what needs to happen is there needs to be a proper dialogue with the executive director or the CEO, the individual or the employee that reports to the board. A change in bylaws or a change in overall board structure should not have a direct impact on operations. If it does, then that probably means to me that the board's being a little bit too much operational. It's really important that your senior management and the board are kind of working hand in hand, and that both sides understand the changes and how it can really impact the organization.
I think as the board chair, it's important to be out in the community. You're representing the community so that you're expressing to everyone what the services that the not-for-profit is providing, the needs of the organization, trying to get fundraising, as we spoke about. The president and CEO is doing that, but it's also important for the board chair to be doing that along with the other members of the executive.